Welcome to Think Winning, where we believe that great leaders never stop improving their communication skills. We know that it's not just about talking at people, it's about having real conversations that truly connect with your team, and that takes time and practice. As a leader, you already have a good foundation in communication, but we believe that everyone can benefit from learning more. That's why we're excited to share with you our 15 best practices for ensuring great communication at all times. With these tools, you'll be able to convey your ideas more clearly, inspire others to follow your lead, and create a more efficient and productive flow of information in your organization. But before we dive in, let's talk about what effective communication really means. It's not just about talking all the time, it's about finding the right balance. Too much communication and your message gets lost in the noise. Too little communication and your team feels left in the dark. The key to great communication is customization. You need to tailor your message to your audience and find the right approach that works for them. And that's exactly what we're going to help you do. So let's get started. We're excited to share our 15 best practices for improving your communication skills and taking your leadership to the next level. Number 1, know your audience. When it comes to communicating with different groups of people, it's important to adjust your language and tone to match your audience. For example, you wouldn't talk to a group of kids the same way you would talk to a group of adults. The same goes for any other target group, whether it's based on age, gender, culture, or interests. To effectively craft your message, you need to understand your audience. Who are you speaking to? What are their needs, wants, and interests? What kind of language do they use? Once you have a clear understanding of your target group, you can tailor your messaging to better connect with them. Using the right language is key to creating content that resonates with your audience. This means using vocabulary and sentence structures that are easy to understand and relatable. Avoid jargon and complex terms that may confuse or alienate your readers. Instead, try to use language that is simple, clear, and conversational. Number 2, define a clear goal. When you're creating any kind of message or content, it's important to have a clear goal in mind. Ask yourself, what is the purpose of this message? Are you trying to persuade your readers to take a specific action, uplift their spirits with a positive message, or simply inform them about a particular topic? Once you've defined your goal, it's important to keep it consistent throughout your content. This means that every aspect of your message, from the tone and language you use to the examples and information you provide, should all align with your overall objective. For example, if you're trying to persuade your readers to donate to a specific charity, your content should focus on the benefits of donating, the impact it will have, and how easy it is to do so. On the other hand, if your goal is to uplift your readers, your content should be positive, inspiring, and focused on celebrating the good in life. By having a clear goal and staying consistent throughout your content, you can create a message that is focused, effective, and engaging. So before you start creating any content, take the time to define your goal and make sure everything you create is aligned with that objective. Number 3, measure the outcome. It's important to know whether your message has been effective or not. And one way to do that is by measuring the outcome. This means figuring out a way to track and calculate the impact of your message. For example, let's say you need to remind everyone in the office that masks are mandatory. You could count the number of people wearing masks before and after your message goes out to see if there's been an increase in compliance. This is a simple way to measure the effectiveness of your message. There are many other ways to measure the outcome of your message depending on your specific goals. If you're trying to persuade people to take a certain action, you could track how many people actually follow through. If you're trying to inform people about a new product or service, you could track how many inquiries or purchases you receive. By measuring the outcome of your message, you can see whether it was successful or not and make any necessary changes for future messaging. It's an important step to ensure your message is actually making an impact and achieving its intended goal. Number 4, consider the method. When you're communicating a message, it's important to consider the method you use. Not every message is appropriate for every communication channel, and using the wrong method can lead to confusion or misunderstandings. For example, tweeting about HR policies might not be the best way to communicate important information to your employees. On the other hand, using social media to announce details about a holiday party might be a fun and effective way to get people excited. When considering the method, think about your audience and the message you're trying to convey. Are you trying to reach a large group of people or just a few individuals? Is the message time-sensitive or can it wait? Is it formal or casual in tone? Once you've determined the best method for your message, don't forget to use multiple methods for particularly critical communications. This ensures that everyone has a chance to receive the message and reduces the chances of it being missed.
Number 5. Commit to consistency. Consistency is key when it comes to communication. Regularly keeping in touch with people helps them feel connected, informed, and valued. Plus, consistent communication ensures that important messages don't get forgotten or overlooked. It's important to establish a schedule for your communication and stick to it as much as possible. This could mean sending out a weekly newsletter, holding monthly meetings, or simply sending regular check-ins to your team or clients. By committing to consistency, you build trust and reliability with your audience. They know when to expect communication from you and can plan accordingly. Additionally, consistent communication ensures that important information doesn't get missed or forgotten. When people know that they can rely on you to communicate regularly, they are more likely to pay attention and take action when needed. Number 6. Cultivate multiple perspectives. Collaboration and considering multiple perspectives are important when it comes to crafting effective messages. By working with others from different departments, you can ensure that your message meets all the necessary requirements and reaches its intended audience. When you work with others, you have the opportunity to receive feedback and make improvements based on a variety of viewpoints. This can help you avoid making mistakes or unintentionally leaving out important information. Additionally, collaborating with others can help you avoid alienating certain groups. By considering different perspectives, you can ensure that your message is inclusive and respectful to all. This is especially important when addressing sensitive topics or communicating with a diverse audience. Number 7. Be clear and concise. Clear and concise communication is a critical aspect of effective communication in a business setting. It means using straightforward language that everyone can understand without using complicated or technical terms that may confuse others. Avoiding jargon is a key aspect of being clear and concise in business communication. Jargon refers to specialized language used in a particular industry or profession, and it can be difficult for those outside of that field to understand. Using simple language ensures that your message is received and understood by everyone involved. It's also essential to express your ideas in a way that's easy to follow. This means breaking down complex concepts into simple and understandable parts. By doing so, you can ensure that your message is communicated effectively and that everyone understands what you're trying to say. Number 8. Practice active listening. Active listening is an essential skill for effective communication. It's more than just hearing what someone is saying. It's about being fully engaged with the speaker and showing that you're interested in what they have to say. Active listening involves asking questions and seeking clarification to ensure that you understand the speaker's message correctly. It's about focusing on the speaker's words, tone, and body language to gain a complete understanding of their message. To practice active listening, start by giving the speaker your full attention. This means avoiding distractions, such as checking your phone or email, and actively listening to the speaker's message. You can also show that you're engaged by nodding, making eye contact, and responding appropriately. Asking questions is another essential aspect of active listening. It demonstrates that you're interested in the speaker's message and want to understand it better. Clarifying any misunderstandings can help to ensure that you're on the same page and avoid any confusion. Number 9. Use positive language. Using positive language is an effective way to create a more optimistic and productive environment. It's all about focusing on what can be done rather than what can't. Positive language can help to inspire and motivate others to work towards a common goal. In contrast, negative language can have the opposite effect. It can create a pessimistic and demotivating atmosphere, leading to decreased productivity and a lack of progress. That's why it's crucial to choose words carefully when communicating with others. To use positive language, start by framing your thoughts in a positive way. Instead of saying, "We can't do that," try saying, "Let's find a way to make it work." This type of language focuses on solutions rather than problems and encourages a can-do attitude. Another way to use positive language is by using words that motivate and inspire. For example, instead of saying, "This task is boring," you could say, "Let's find a way to make this task more interesting and engaging." This type of language helps to encourage creativity and enthusiasm.
Number 10. Be prepared. Being prepared is a crucial aspect of effective communication in business. It means taking the time to ensure that you have a clear understanding of the topic, your goals, and your audience before any meeting or presentation. Being prepared involves researching and gathering all the necessary information about the topic you'll be discussing. This can help you to anticipate any questions or concerns your audience might have and provide them with accurate and relevant information. Understanding your goals is another important aspect of being prepared. It means knowing what you want to achieve from the communication and ensuring that your message is tailored to meet those goals. By being clear on your objectives, you can focus your message and avoid any confusion. Number 11. Use visual aids. When you want to explain something complicated, it can be hard to get your point across clearly. That's where visual aids come in. Visual aids are things like charts, graphs, diagrams, pictures, and videos that you can use to help people understand complex information. Visual aids can be really helpful because they can make your message more memorable. When people see a picture or a graph that explains something, they're more likely to remember it than if you just told them about it. Plus, visual aids can help people who learn better by seeing things rather than just hearing them. Charts and graphs are particularly useful when you need to show data or statistics. For example, if you're presenting a report on the growth of your company over the last year, you could create a graph that shows how your revenue has changed over time. This would help your audience understand the information more easily than if you just read out a list of numbers. Diagrams and pictures are great for explaining how things work or how they're put together. Videos are also really effective visual aids, especially when you're trying to demonstrate something. For example, if you're teaching people how to use a new software program, you could create a video that shows them exactly what to do. Overall, using visual aids is a great way to make your message more engaging and memorable. Just remember to choose the right kind of visual aid for the information you're trying to convey, and make sure it's clear and easy to understand. Number 12. Be empathetic. When it comes to communicating in a business setting, empathy is a really important skill to have. Empathy means putting yourself in someone else's shoes and trying to understand their feelings and perspectives. When you communicate empathetically, you acknowledge and respect the other person's point of view, even if you don't agree with it. Empathy is important in business because it helps you build stronger relationships with your colleagues, clients, and stakeholders. When people feel that you understand them and care about their needs and concerns, they're more likely to trust you and work well with you. To practice empathy in your business communication, try to be aware of the other person's perspective. Think about what they might be feeling and what their priorities are. Ask questions and listen carefully to their responses. Try to avoid interrupting or dismissing their ideas, even if you disagree with them. When you're communicating with someone who has a different perspective than you do, it can be helpful to use I statements instead of you statements. For example, instead of saying "you're wrong about this," you could say "I see things differently." This approach is less confrontational and shows that you're open to hearing the other person's point of view. Overall, practicing empathy in your business communication is a great way to build stronger relationships, foster trust, and achieve better outcomes. Number 13. Avoid multitasking. In a busy business environment, it can be tempting to try to do multiple things at once. However, multitasking can actually be counterproductive and lead to mistakes and misunderstandings. That's why it's important to focus on one task or conversation at a time and avoid distractions. When you try to do multiple things at once, you're not really giving any of them your full attention. This can lead to errors, misunderstandings, and missed opportunities. For example, if you're trying to respond to emails while you're on a conference call, you might miss important information from the call or send an email with mistakes. To avoid multitasking, try to prioritize your tasks and schedule your time in a way that allows you to focus on one thing at a time. When you're in a conversation or meeting, give the other person or people your full attention. Listen actively and take notes if necessary. If you're working on a project or task, try to eliminate distractions like phone notifications, social media, and email alerts. By focusing on one task or conversation at a time, you'll be able to do a better job and avoid mistakes. You'll also be able to build stronger relationships with your colleagues, clients, and stakeholders by showing them that you value their time and attention. Number 14, provide feedback. Giving and receiving feedback is an important part of effective communication in business. When you provide feedback, you're helping others improve and do better work. And when you're open to receiving feedback, you can learn from others and improve your own skills and performance. To provide effective feedback, it's important to be specific and constructive. Instead of just saying good job or that was bad, try to provide specific examples and suggestions for improvement. For example, you could say, I really appreciated how you handled that difficult customer, but I think we could have done more to address their concerns. It's also important to be mindful of the other person's feelings and perspective when providing feedback. Try to use I statements instead of you statements, and be aware of your tone and body language. Remember, the goal of feedback is to help the other person improve, not to make them feel bad. Receiving feedback can be challenging, but it's an important part of personal and professional growth. Try to be open to feedback and view it as an opportunity to learn and improve. Listen actively to what the other person is saying, and ask questions if you need clarification. Take the feedback seriously and try to incorporate it into your work. Number 15, following up. It's really important to check in with people after you've had a meeting or conversation with them. This is called following up. Following up helps make sure that everyone understands what was discussed and what needs to happen next. To follow up, you should write a brief summary of what was talked about in the meeting or conversation. This summary should include any important details that were discussed and any decisions that were made. It's also a good idea to include a list of things that need to be done, which are called action items. When you send this summary to everyone who was involved in the conversation or meeting, it can help make sure that everyone is on the same page. They'll know what was discussed, what decisions were made, and what they need to do next. Following up may seem like a small thing, but it can make a big difference. It helps prevent misunderstandings and makes sure that everyone is working towards the same goal. So be sure to follow up after your meetings and conversations to keep things clear and moving forward. Thank you for watching. We hope these 15 secrets to mastering the art of effective communication will help you in your personal and professional life. If you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing to our channel for more tips and tricks on communication and business success. And don't forget to hit the like button to show your support. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.